All right, everyone, we are recording this training session. So if you ever want to review this information, the folks over at Visit Big Sky are going to be able to provide this recorded training session, possibly as an option for you to view this on the extranet in the future, so that you can get some additional training or review the information that we go over today. I am Dave Roberts over here at SimpleView, and I'm going to be facilitating this training today. I've been with SimpleView for about 5 years now, and we are going to be talking about the extranet today, or also known as the partner portal. So I want to remind everyone who is watching this as a recorded training session, if it is not July the 13th, 2023, well, you could be looking at older information. So you do want to keep in mind that what you want to do is get the latest information from your CRM help inside of the extranet, or look at your partner bulletins, or look at your reports. Look at that information for the latest information about the extranet, or look for information from the Visit team at Visit Big Sky for the latest information about the extranet. All right. So what the extranet does is it allows you as a partner of Visit Big Sky to represent yourself by providing your information through this extranet or partner portal. And then what happens is that information that flows from the extranet is going to flow to the Visit Big Sky team's CRM. And then that information can be exchanged back and forth. This is a real-time exchange of information between your software, the extranet, and the SimpleView CRM that the Visit Big Sky team is using. That information can then flow to the website so that we're advertising and presenting your destination and your individual business listing on that Visit Big Sky website. Okay, so how do we access the extranet? Now, I will be doing a live demonstration of your SimpleView CRM. So I am going to be showing you the actual extranet that's attached to the Visit Big Sky team's CRM. So we will be doing a live demonstration as well. This isn't just a presentation today. I'm actually going to show you all the things that we're demonstrating and talking about today. But the first hurdle that you have to overcome is accessing the extranet. So how do you get access and how do you log in? Most of you on the call today were receiving the information via an email, like this one that you see here on the screen right now. So you would have seen this email, and if you opened it, it would have opened up an email with some information. And some of you that have been with Visit Big Sky for a long time might have already received this email in the past. But of course, we've made a lot of improvements, and we've updated the extranet recently, so there is more information, and there have been some changes. So that might also look different for you than the previous email that you received. But what we're looking at here is that your username, which is going to be your email address, will be identified in that email that you receive. You're also going to receive a temporary password. This is a complex, set of special characters. You can cut and paste, but you have to cut and paste exactly those characters when you are entering this temporary password into the login screen. So just keep in mind, if you try to cut and paste and it doesn't work, go ahead and try to manually type that password into the password field, and then you'll be prompted to enter your own unique password. The link to your extranet interface is going to be this URL that you see right there on the screen. That's going to be the live link that we send you, or the Visit Big Sky team sends you an email. And when you click on that, you're going to be able to access that way.
Hey, Dave, I just want to clarify that so Visit Big Sky is one side of the organization for tourism-facing businesses on that website, but the Big Sky Chamber side of the site is who all the members here will be. So just so that they maybe understand that as a Big Sky Chamber member, That's why you have the login permission and the ability to go in and update your business listing as a business with a chamber.
Thank you for that clarification. Yes. And we will be speaking to some of those items a little bit further in the presentation, but I wanted to make sure everyone at least knew how they would get access at this stage of the training. Okay, so that's the email you get, and then that URL that you click to link to the extranet will take you to this screen. You'll notice the URL is there in the browser in the screenshot that I have here. And then the login screen, that's where you put in your username and your temporary password. On this screen, you also have a forgot password link. So if you do end up forgetting your password for some reason and you need to access the extranet, typically you'll use that link, that forgot your password link. It'll automatically generate a new temporary password, and then you'll enter that password in to log into the extranet. The first time you log into the extranet, you're told you have to change your temporary password to something only you know. This is a password only you know. The team at Visit Big Sky can reset your password for you. They have that administrative ability to do that, but they don't know what your password is. They will only know what your temporary password is, what that temporary password was that was assigned to you initially, and they can give that to you again. But really, they can just, if you have never logged in and you got a password weeks ago or months ago and you never logged in and the one piece of information you have isn't working, let the team at Big Sky know. They'll reset your password, and that should give you a new temporary password, and you should be able to follow this process and log in successfully. Once you log in successfully, you're going to be looking at this screen, something very similar to this. And I just want to go over the navigational components for you. Very simple process, extremely easy to use user interface. You've got your product header here. You've got your left navigation here. You've got your image carousel right here. Now, this could be an area where the team at Visit Big Sky starts to provide you with some information. This could be a scrolling image as well as a static image like you see currently. There could be text and information provided in this image, and there could be links in this image. So look for this to maybe contain more information in the future. You'll also see your partner bulletins. This is news and information that's provided to you. And you have a post board here. So this is where you can share information with each other. It's a community. So as a community, if you want to, you can create a post about your business. Maybe you're looking to hire someone. Maybe you're having a big event and you want to let your other area businesses know there's going to be extra foot traffic in the area, things of that nature. So that's what's going to be on that screen, the post board. We're going to go into great detail about this. I just want to break down the basic navigational components that you see when you first log in to the extranet. And when you do select one of those sections in the left navigation, a slide panel is going to open up, giving you access to other areas of the extranet. Okay, like I said, this isn't just presentation. I want to actually demonstrate the information for you. So let's see what that looks like. So here I am. Let me go back to the login screen. So here I am initially going to that URL that was in the email that I received as a user, granting me access to the Big Sky Chamber extranet, right? And so I see the username and password. I see the forgot your password link, and I put in my username and password and I hit login. And now I'm going to be inside the extranet. So here is the Big Sky Chamber logo. If I click on that, that's always going to orient me back to my main screen here. When you first log into the extranet, you're always going to be on the home section. The home section contains the image, your partner bulletins, and your post board. And then the username. This is my user who's logged in, so that's my username. I can click the log out button to log out of the extranet, but you can also just close your browser session. There's no harm in just closing your browser. That's going to end your extranet session. And the next time you want to log into the extranet, you'll have to go back and log in with your username and password. Now, I like to save my username and password in my browser, but I do have a secure browser, so it's safe for me to do that. And I bookmark my access to my links. So I would recommend that you bookmark this URL for the login to the extranet. Just hit that bookmark button on your browser and save that in your bookmarks. That way you can just jump back into the extranet from your browser whenever you need to access. This is a responsive interface. So as you access this extranet from your phone, from your tablet, from your PC, the extranet is going to be responsive and automatically size to whatever device you're on. So you'll still be able to access and see the information. If you have a parent-child relationship, you own multiple businesses in the destination, there might be a toggle here that allows you to jump around to your different businesses. We're going to provide you with a unified login. So instead of you having to log in for your business A and then log out and then log in for business B, you can log in one time and then just switch between your businesses. This is going to be a very few small number of you, if any, but it is a nice convenient thing that we can provide for you, a unified login. So you don't have to log in and out for your different businesses. You just toggle between your different businesses. Now, keep in mind you have this quick search here too. The quick search is a very useful tool. If you're looking for a record, a contact record, an account record, a listing, a lead, or some other record inside of the extranet, this quick search button is going to let you find that record very quickly and very easily. So you just type in the name of the record and search for it and find it here in the system. All right, that's navigation. So we're going to get into more detail now about all of the different areas of the extranet. So we're going to go back to the presentation, but then I'll come back and demonstrate those things as best I can. Okay, so again, the image carousel, that's going to display across the top, and sometimes it could have scrolling images, it can have text, it can have links. So look for more coming to you in the future here. For the partner bulletins, again, this is news and information that the Visit Big Sky team is providing to you as a person who accesses the extranet. So make sure that you take a look at this information. Now, how do you know, how do you maintain, how do you track the information that's being provided to you? Well, there's some cool key features of the bulletin that I want to share with you. First, you'll notice that you see the bulletin listed and that there'll be a not read message telling you, indicating to you that you have not yet read this bulletin. The team over there at Big Sky can also mark certain bulletins as important. So they can kind of place a higher emphasis or a more greater need, a greater sense of urgency for you to read that bulletin. So they'll put that little exclamation point next to those bulletins. When you click on the bulletin to view it, you're going to see the full information. You'll see the full bulletin presented. And then you'll notice that there is now a red receipt next to the bulletin after you've read the full bulletin. So you'll be able to keep track of which bulletins that you have actually reviewed and which ones you have not. So you can stay on top of it. And then, of course, those bulletins will still be available for you to look at until the Big Sky team is done publishing that bulletin and takes it down. Postboard is a great little tool for you guys to share information. So just like those examples I gave you before, you're having a big event at your business and you want other people to know, it's good information. They know there's going to be extra foot traffic in the area. You're trying to hire a new employee, and who better to give you a referral than your fellow businesses, right? They have connections to quality candidates, and they can send them your way. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that process that employee process a little bit further down in the presentation. Now, as a poster on the post board, you have the ability to take down your post. So if you post something and you're like, okay, I'm done, I don't need to share that information any longer, you can take your post down. When you look at a post, you're able to comment on that post, and you're also able to email the person who posted that post. So this is a great little tool for you to stay connected with each other. So looking at the extranet now, being logged in and looking at it, you can see that I have a partner bulletin. I have not yet read this bulletin, and there's an exclamation point next to it telling me, oh, this is an important piece of information. I'll click to review the content, and here's the content right there. Great information and a link to a document that I can access, right? So user instructions. This might also be in the future a link to this video for you to download. So there's even other ways for you to access this information. But now that I'm finished reading the bulletin and reviewing the information, I can hit close. And now you notice there's a red receipt with today's bulletin information. So now we've got a post board, and Lisa over at Trim Tech, she mentioned there was no volume. So we had some technical difficulties at the very beginning of this meeting. So I think we're good now. I mean, I can see that I have volume, and Anna has confirmed that you can hear me. So I think we're all good. But you'll notice that I, as a user, right, because I'm just an individual user inside of the CRM, I do not have the ability to delete this post because that came from Lisa. But I can create my own post and put that up there. And then go ahead and create that post. Now this post is visible for all of you to see. And we just got a couple late joiners here, or people rejoining the meeting. Sorry. There we go. Let them in. All right. So now you can see that that post is created. Now, for the rest of you on the extranet, you would be able to comment on my post and say, hey, Dave, thanks for the welcome, or whatever. You could make a comment. If we had you should also see that little email envelope icon to allow you to email me and reach out to me and say, hey, I saw your post and here's what I think about that, right? And so then you can do that. So this is a great tool for you internally amongst yourselves, right? This is your forum. That's what this post board is. And when I'm finished with my post, if I know that I don't need that to be visible to the community any longer, I'm going to go ahead and click that X and delete the post. So there you go. All right, so those were the major navigational components, and I wanted to demonstrate those things for you: the post board, the image carousel, and the partner bulletins. All right, now we're going to get into the profile section of the extranet. Clicking on the profile, again, that slide panel is going to open up, and it's going to provide you with access to your account information, to your contacts, to your benefit summary, and to your invoices. So these options can be limited by the team at Visit Big Sky. So if your position at your business does not require you to look at invoices, they might not provide you with access to that section. But this is what the profile section is intended for. It's to show you your accounts, your business, your contacts, the people, the employees, your coworkers at your business, your benefit summary. How has your relationship with the Visit Big Sky team benefited you, right? You're going to be able to see your in-kinds and expenses that have been paid or donated. You're going to be able to see your service requests and leads and opportunities that you've received, that you've responded to, that you haven't responded to. and a variety of things. And these, again, these options are going to be expanded or limited based on your specific role at your company, at your business. So let's take a look at that a little bit more in depth. We click on that profile icon and we select the accounts link, and that's going to show us a grid. A grid is what it sounds like. It's just rows and columns of information. And so you're going to see that information. You'll see action buttons. So the pencil icon means you can edit that record. The eyeball icon means you want to view that record. Specific to accounts, you also have a little green caret that's going to let you jump to your amenities, those things that your business provides to visitors to your destination that provide comfort and convenience for those visitors, and your meeting space. If your business has meeting space, if you're a hotel, obviously you have rooms and you have meeting space, but restaurants have private dining and venues have private rooms that they can offer. And these will often come to those businesses as a service request. So somebody needs meeting space while they're at your business, taking advantage of what you offer. And then once you click on that record and you're looking at it, you're going to see that you can jump to the different sections simply by clicking on those links that are the section links. So what will happen is when you're looking at the account information or the phone or the address, when you select those items are going to be highlighted and you're going to see where that data lives. If there are blanks, you can fill in those blanks. You'll be able to update the record. And then just remember to hit that save button when you're finished entering the data, and that will update the record, not only for you, what you're looking at, but also for the CRM that the Visit Big Sky team is looking at in their CRM. When you view or edit your property information, you can go to that section, just like I was saying. And then after you click that, you'll also be able to see your contact information. So if you click back on profiles and select the contacts section, now you're going to see your employees. And again, you're going to see them in a grid. So rows and columns of information about your employees, the people that work at the business, including yourself. So here you can update the information, edit, view, or even clone. Cloning is a time-saving feature that we put into the extranet. If you hired another person and they're essentially going to have the same contact information as the previous person, you could clone the previous person's record and then essentially duplicate that record and then just update the name on that record. And that way all the other information would be the same, and you're saving yourself a lot of clicks and a lot of data entry. Cloning is really, really valuable for other certain kinds of records like events, but maybe not so much for contacts because everybody's different. We all have different names and phone numbers and email addresses. So cloning is not going to save you that much time, but it is a tool that's available to you there. When you view or edit a contact, you can quickly scroll to that section again by clicking on those links that are in the left side. So this will let you jump to those sections so that you can take care of it. Now, here's what I really want you to take away from the contact section. When you have an employee who leaves your organization, they're no longer going to be working for you. They won the lottery, so yay. They're not, they don't get to work for you anymore. And you're sad about that, and we wish we won the lottery too, but they're gone. Well, make sure you go in and change their contact type from primary or secondary to inactive. That cuts off their access to the extranet. That eliminates their ability to come into the extranet and do work in the extranet. Because if they're not working for you anymore, they shouldn't have access to these records. So just make sure you take that step. Again, the benefits summary is the section where we show you those benefits that you get from working with the team at Visit Big Sky. So There will be information here. We might start off with a very limited basis, but then we'll expand as more data gets collected in the CRM. So that's another great place to see how your relationship with the team at Visit Big Sky is benefiting you. How is your listing doing on their website? How many hits has it gotten? How much activity has it gotten? How many leads? How many service requests? These are the kinds of things that we can track and show you in the benefit summary. And then invoices. The invoices section will give you the opportunity to review invoices created by the team at Visit Big Sky. And then you can review these, you can print these, and you can pay these, right from the extranet. So very convenient. So let me kind of show you what that looks like now. All of that information that I just showed you, let's go through it and in a real example and kind of see what that looks like. So again, I've logged into the extranet and I've decided I need to review the information about my business. So I'm going to select the profile section. The slide panel opens, and the first link I have available to me is the account record, the record of my business here in Big Sky. So I click on the accounts link and it takes me to the grid view, which displays my business. This is my business, Simple View 2, not very much creative here. We just needed an example in the system for you to look at. But again, I can either click on the link or I can click on the eyeball, and that's going to open up the record detail for me to see. Now I can see the record information. I can click on my links. It highlights the section and lets me see the information. I can jump to those sections, review the information. I can go to my amenities and see what amenities I offer at my business. I do have a cancellation policy, so I'm going to change that from no to yes. I don't require reservations, so I'm going to leave that in the no column. I am going to select my bedding that I have available to offer at my business. Now, you might not see these if you're not a hotel business, so these amenities wouldn't apply to you, so you wouldn't see them. But other things like meeting space are going to be available there. Again, I can go to my different sections and fill in the information where needed. Then I can also manage my meeting space, make sure I enter in information about my meeting space. If I need to put in the number of sleeping rooms that my business has, because that information is not yet associated to my business, I'll fill that in and hit save. Now in real time, the CRM has been updated for the Visit Big Sky teams to look at. If they were working on a lead that required that the hotelier had a minimum of 100 rooms, and they were trying to determine who to send that lead to, they would automatically know to include your business because you just updated that area of the extranet. All right, so again, going to the account section, I can jump to the different sections, review that information, access my amenities, access my meeting space, make changes, edit those items, and then remember, after you're done editing, always hit save. Otherwise, those changes will not be recorded. For example, I did not hit save after updating my amenities, so it doesn't have that. I do have a cancellation policy, so it didn't have that recorded and saved as a yes. So now that I've saved it, now that is a yes in the CRM, and it'll be a yes on the website if we're looking to filter by properties that have cancellation policies when we're searching on the website. So that's the account section. Contacts, same thing. We go to contacts, and that brings us to this section, and we see a list of our employees. Now, we're going to get into filters in just a minute, but one of the things that can be frustrating for users is looking at all the information, right? Those are people that don't work here anymore. Why am I seeing them in my data grid? Well, you don't have to. We can filter to show only our primary and secondary contacts, apply those filters, and now I'm only going to see the people that meet those criteria. Or if I say just primary, then I'll only see my primary users. So I can hide information from the grid that I don't want to see. We're going to talk more about filters in a minute. Benefit summary. Again, this is a section where you can go and see those various items. You can click to look at the detail, and you'll get a larger image or a zoom in image and a zoom in on the detail. A lot more details will be provided to you here. So you're going to be able to see that data by going to these different sections. One important thing to keep in mind are your filters. Make sure that your filters are set to show the appropriate length of time that you want to represent for that information. That's going to give you a different view. If you're not seeing what you expect to see, check your filters. We'll talk a little bit more about filters, like I said, in just a minute. And then finally, your invoices. From here, I can see my invoices. I can see which ones, and we did have one in here, but I must have already paid it. So what would happen is we would see the invoice here. We would be able to select it, and then we would be able to either print out the invoice to send it in or select to pay that invoice. So sorry, I had one loaded here before, but it must have got taken away. I wanted to kind of show you what that screen looks like. So let me take a look and see if I have that in my demonstration. All right, so again, once you have the invoice identified from the grid, you can select it, and there'll be an option to hit the pay button. That'll take you to a web page where you can enter your credit card information and submit your payment. Sorry, I don't have a demonstration of that. The invoice must have got canceled out, so I don't have that to click on for you. I don't have any outstanding balances, so I'm good to go. Going to this section tells me, okay, I've paid everything. I'm up to date. I'm good to go. Okay, now I want to keep going and talk about the rest of the CRM, but before I proceed, I want to take a step back and talk about the power that you have as a user of the extranet to customize the extranet for yourself. You have a lot of flexibility here and a lot of ability to really make this extranet work for you and specific to your user. So there's two important components that I want to talk about. One is filters, and I've mentioned them already, and the other is the data grid. You can customize these things inside of the CRM. This lets you see more or less information, or lets you see the information in the way that your user, when you're logged in, wants to see the information. So let's talk about those two things. First, we have
Hey,
filters.
Dave.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
think our screen is stuck. We're still seeing the benefits page.
That's weird. Is
I
it
think
not
that's what
changing
everyone
for
else
you?
is seeing. No,
Okay.
maybe stop sharing and reshare again.
Yeah.
Sure, I can do that. It is showing on the meeting that I'm looking at, it is showing the screen that I want to show, which is filters and grids. But let
Now
me
it
go
just
ahead
shifted. It just went there. It's there now.
okay. Looks like there's a
Thank
little
you.
bit of a delay. Again, I'm in a different room, so the wireless connectivity maybe is not as good as a hard line. It was just a unexpected result. I did not have the hard line. Let me see if I've got a hard line here. Let me take a look. If you'll all indulge me for 30 seconds, I'm going to try to connect the hard line and make sure we have a stronger data connection here. It doesn't appear that the hard line in this room is.
Maybe it was just a little glitch. I think you could keep going with where we're at now on the
Okay.
filters and grids.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there we go. All right, I appreciate that, everybody. Thanks for letting me give that a shot. All right. Okay, so continuing on with that idea of filters and grids. Okay, so now what we're seeing is that what you can do is you can apply multiple filters. So if you want the ability to filter by 2 or 3 or 5 different things, you're going to have the ability to do that. You're going to click on this gear or sprocket icon, and you're going to see a list of your available filters, and then you can add them to the filters view, and then you can apply those filters. So you'll be able to filter by each one of those areas. This is an example of filtering your leads by all of the different components related to that lead. We talked about this already, but the pencil icon, that's an action button. It allows you to edit the record. So you're going to go straight into edit mode, open up that form, and be able to make changes, and then hit save when you're finished. The eye icon is just going to open up the record. So you can just view the record. You're just looking at it. You're not necessarily making changes. You just want to see the content of that record. The double page or clone icon lets you clone the record. And then the add button is going to live there as a blue rectangle. It will say something like create or add or something like that. If that blue rectangle exists, that's going to give you the opportunity to access that information and create that record. So it'll open up a form and let you fill in the information and save it. Now, when you do click on the gear icon, either in the grid or in the filters area, that's going to show you these different sections, the columns, the filters, and the ordering. So here you can manage which filters apply, manage which columns are going to display, and then order those columns on the grid in whatever order you want. So let me demonstrate this for you. This is going to make the CRM much more useful for you for for when you're looking at the data. So if we go to let's go to the contacts grid as an example. So you might say to yourself, yes, I definitely want to only see my contacts that are active in the system. So you would apply those filters, and then you're only looking at your active contacts. The people that have left your organization that you have made inactive, they are no longer displayed here in the grid. The records are still there. So all I would have to do is clear my filters, and now I would see the complete list of all contacts, whether they were active or not. To manage those filters, I'm going to click on this link, and then I can decide what other filters I want to filter by. Let's say I want to filter by their when their record was last updated. I could select that filter, remember to apply changes, and now when the record was last updated is now a filter I can apply. So I can say I want to see records that were updated only in the last 7 days, apply my filters, and that's going to show me the results. I haven't had any records that have been updated in the last 7 days. So that's why my grid is empty. If I clear my filters, they're gone, no more filters. I'm seeing all the data. And if I don't want that filter, easily enough, I can go back and just remove it and say, I don't want that filter to be applicable on my grid any longer. What about the information about the information in the grid? I've got a name here, then I've got a business, then a title, then an email address. Well, I don't have their phone number and I need that. So I want that information to be in the grid. So I'm going to click on the gear icon here, and I'm going to add the phone number to the list. Apply changes. Now the phone number does display in the grid. Also, remember that the grid, you can sort by the column headers. So if I need to put this in ascending order or descending order, I can do that just by clicking on the column headers. Now, I've got the information I wanted, the phone number added to the grid, but it's way over there, far away from the name of the person. And it would be better if I could see the name next to the phone number. So I'm going to reorder my columns. Again, I'm going to go to the gear icon. I'm going to go to the ordering tab. And now I'm going to move the phone number so that it's right next to the name of the person. And then I want the email address to come after that. And then I want the business to come first. So all I'm doing is taking my mouse and dragging those items up and down into the order that I want them to be, then apply changes. And now look at that. Now I've got the business next to the name next to the phone number, and the phone number next to the email address. So it's much more ordered. This will stay this way for your user until you change it. So when you log out and you log back into the CRM, into the extranet, this is the order that the information is going to display. And it's just for your user. You're not changing this for anyone else who logs into the extranet. You're just changing this for yourself. All right. So that was what I wanted to show you about filters and grids. Customize it, make it more useful for you. Okay. Let's talk about the collateral section now. This is probably the biggest and most important component for you as users. When you click the collateral icon, we're going to see a display for your listings, your publication guides, your special offers, your calendar of events, your media, or those images that you want associated to your listing, and for the hoteliers, your occupancy data. So again, if you don't see all of these options, just remember that they may be limited because of the kind of position that you have at your organization. So when you click on your listing section, that's going to take you to the grid that shows your listing or listings. And we do have those multiple type of listings that we would be considering to work with here. When you view, edit, or add that listing information, you can quickly scroll to a section on that page by clicking on those links, just like we've shown in the previous slides. And you're going to be able to get to those sections and review the information and make those edits that you need to make. And then remember to hit that save button when you're finished. Now, what happens is when you make a change to a listing, that information flows to the CRM in real time. There is no delay. So the Visit Big Sky team is going to see that you've made that change. They'll be alerted that you've made the change, and they can go to that listing record and see that change. They'll review it, and once they approve it, now it's going to be allowed to flow and exist on the website. So they're going to make approvals, and with those approvals, that information will flow to the website. If there's an issue, the Big Sky team will reach out to you and say, hey, I noticed you use this wording, and that's kind of counter to our theme or our brand at Big Sky, and they would be able to offer you some advice or encourage you to maybe make some edits or changes to your listing. So look for that kind of feedback, right? But essentially, they're going to be reviewing and approving so that information can flow to the website. This can happen very quickly if they're able to review those changes quickly and then share that information with your team. All right, when you are talking about making changes to your images, you'll see that on that listing, there'll be a place here for you to upload the image and or select the image that's going to be associated to that listing. If you have seasonal imagery, if you want to show your snow-covered business in the winter and you want to show your flowers blooming in the springtime and you want to use those different images throughout the year, you can edit the listing and associate those images to the listing that are appropriate for the season. Now, for job openings, one of the things you have the ability to do is add your listing as a job opening. So if you have a job opening at your business you're going to, when you create the listing, you're going to choose the category of job openings. In the form, in that dropdown, there is a job openings option, and you'll select that and create the listing and save it. This creates the listing in that section and lets you see that information. So more information on this can be provided by the Visit Big Sky team, because this is kind of unique to their organization, and this is something that they've done for your organization. Now, for chamber members, I do want to call this out. And Fallon did mention in the chat, that we are sharing that back end interface. So if there are any issues, you can reach out to the Visit Big Sky team. But for listings for chamber members, you now see that you have a business directory option in the category for that listing. So when you create a new listing and you use the business directory category, that's going to let you have access to an additional section of the website specifically for the business directory listing. So when you create these listings, you will create a listing record under that category. And again, more guidance can be provided if you need more information or you don't understand this process. The Visit Big Sky team can work directly with you on this. So these are some
Dave,
of the unique. Yes.
I would just add that all chamber members who will be reviewing this training or listening in have a business directory listing created, or should, so that when they look under the business membership directory on the Big Sky Chamber website, they'll be listed. But they can make updates if they are a visitor facing tourism industry as well. Then they may have additional listings to put them under dining or shopping or lodging, etc.
Excellent. Moving on, if you have special offers, you're going to be able to create those. These are like coupons or buy one, get one half off, buy one night, get one night half off, $10 off your meal, whatever the coupons are that you're generating. And again, you have the ability to generate those from the extranet. And when those get submitted, they can be reviewed by the Big Sky team, and then those can flow to the website under the special offer section on the website. When you create that offer or you need to update that offer, you'll be looking at that same layout, same design. Open the record, see the sections you can jump to, review the information, make updates, attach the image that you've added to the extranet. That, if it's a plate of delicious looking food and that's the picture you've taken, you can upload that image and then associate that image to the listing or to the coupon in this situation and present that. Again, once you make those changes, it's going to come to the Big Sky team. They're going to review it, and then if they approve it, then it flows to the website. Same thing for events. You might have an event taking place at your business, whether it's a festival or live music or a concert or whatever it is. When that event is happening, you can actually generate that event as an event taking place at your business specifically. When you fill in the information, one of the other things you have the ability to do is to create an ongoing event. So again, we talked about that clone button earlier, that double page icon. If you have an event that you did last year, Halloween, and you're going to have another Halloween party at your business, okay, you can take last year's event and clone it and save a lot of time by simply updating the next year's or New Year's event and make those changes. But the other thing you can do is you can set up your events to have recurrence. So if you have second Saturday for the entire summer, you can start on May 1st and say second Saturday of the month until September 1st. And you can set up that recurrence. So that way you're creating the event one time. But when folks go to the web page and the website and they say, what are some things to do? They're going to see your event is available to do this Saturday because it's the second Saturday. So they're going to be able to say, oh, I could do that. And then the next week, when a new set of folks have eyes on the website, they'll see the next second Saturday event for the next time you're hosting that. So you can set up recurrence here when you create the event. Again, you have a couple of options. You can do it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You can end after a certain number of occurrences, or you can have it set up to end on a certain date. If these are approved by the Big Sky team, then those events are going to be listed on the website on the things to do page until you make a change or until you've set it to end. It's the end of the year, so we're not doing this anymore. So that was the last event. Now it's no longer on the things to do page. You can attach images. It's always good to show people doing the thing that you like to do. So, or the event that you're offering. And so we'll be able to see that information there as well. And then last but not least, your media. You're going to have the ability to upload images to the extranet. And again, it's a form. So when you choose to add a new media image, you'll upload it or drag and drop it from your hard drive and put that in there and save it. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind. Make sure you have permission to share that image with the Visit Big Sky team. If you hired a professional to take pictures, make sure your licensing agreement allows you to share this image with other businesses that are promoting your business. Some agreements only allow you to display that image on your website and not on other websites. So if that's the case, don't upload that image. But if it is the case, then go ahead and upload that image. And we're getting pretty good, honestly, with our smartphones. We can take some really beautiful images with just our phones nowadays. So get out there and take some pictures. If you need help knowing how to take a good picture, the Big Sky team can offer you advice. And lastly, for our hoteliers, this is where you can enter occupancy. So as people are as you're collecting that information from your star report or whatever data you're looking at, you're going to be able to upload that information here into the occupancy. Now, the reason we ask you to do that, or the reason the Big Sky team asks you to do that, is because that lets them see the entire destination or the entire area's occupancy. So this allows for an aggregate view of the occupancy data. And this is very helpful to the team. So if you can just go ahead and upload your information that you have about your business into the occupancy section, the Big Sky team can look at the aggregate data and kind of get a picture of the destination. This lets them make data-driven decisions that are going to impact you in a positive way. Okay, so a lot to cover in the collateral section, but again, listings, we're going to go here and add a listing, add that description of your business. That's going to flow real time to the CRM. The Big Sky team will review that, and if they approve it, that listing is what's going to display on the website, the description of your business on the Big Sky website. So make sure you follow that information, go to the different sections, fill out all the fields, fill out as much information as you can. If you forget to fill in a required field and you try to save the record, you'll get a warning that says, sorry, you have to give me this minimum amount of information for you to save and create this record. But you'll fill out that form. And then for job openings, you've got your category of job openings, and for business directory listings for chamber members, you'll have the business directory category listing available there for you as well. Special offers, again, same process. You're creating the offer, you're creating that coupon, filling in the information, saving that record. It'll go to the Big Sky team for review. Events, again, you can create that event that's taking place at your business, and you'll have the ability to set up recurrence if it happens to be one of those events that happens every Saturday or every Tuesday or every third Wednesday of the month, whatever that might be. And media, again, if I needed to add media to my listing, I could add that media here. So again, going through this process, making sure I fill in the information choosing the type of record it is. Mostly we want images on the website, not logos. Those aren't as impactful. But if that's all we've got, we'll use a logo. And then there are links that you can provide for YouTube videos as well. But then we're going to find that record in our CRM, or sorry, in our hard drive, and say that we found the image we want. I could drag and drop that image from my hard drive, my desktop, so that it shows up here. And then I'm able to save that information. So now that image can be associated to my listing or other areas. This is media. This is a digital asset that I'm able to now assign to the different things that I need to assign it to. Again, make sure you have permission to share this with the Big Sky team for them to use in perpetuity. So if you don't have that permission, don't share it here on the Extranet. And then last but not least, for our hoteliers that are on the call today, this is where we can enter our occupancy data. Just click that little edit button on the year and fill in the information. And that's going to really save, that's going to create an opportunity for the Visit Big Sky team to look at the entire destination occupancy and look at that information in aggregate. And that helps them make requests for funding, advertising, marketing dollars, all of the stuff that they need to decide. They have this other really important piece of data that if you share with them, they'll be able to put it into aggregate. All right. Now, the last thing is the help section. So if you have questions or if you need help, what'll happen when you click on the icon there in the left navigation is it's going to open up your default email software and allow you to send an email to the Big Sky team. So again, if I click on that questions section, it opens up my default email provider or a software, and then I can type an email and request that Anna or Fallon help me out and say hey guys, I have a question about this. What should I do? So that's going to be your questions. Okay. We are out of time officially, but I'm happy to stick around and answer questions if Anna and Fallon will allow me to do that. So if I can answer any questions for anybody, I am happy to do that. There's a question in the chat there's a question in the chat here that says, can the image be video? So yes, if you have a YouTube channel and you want to embed the video to play the video on the website, you can choose the YouTube option and then upload that embedded link. Then this depends on the Big Sky team and the way that their CMS is designed and configured to do live video, but it should be able to support that link to the video to play when people go to that listing on your website, on the Big Sky website. So the answer is yes. Any other questions?
By any chance, could you go over invoices again, just because the screen froze, so we weren't able to see your side of things?
Absolutely. Let me see if I can do a demonstration. I'm not showing my screen yet. What I want to do is I want to go into my CRM and see if I can add that invoice functionality so that I'm able to demonstrate that for you. Let's see here. So sorry, man behind the curtain is typing right now, but in just a second, we should have the ability to demonstrate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I apologize, we didn't have that queued up for you ahead of time. We did have an example previously, but when I got into the Extranet today, it was not there. So what I'm going to have to do now is log out and log in. So I do have an invoice, I believe, for my account. And so when I go to the invoice section, so I go to my invoices section. Again, I logged into the extranet. I went to the profile section and I navigate to invoices. I can now see I have $100 balance, okay, for this invoice, for this one thing that I ordered or whatever it was that I owe the Big Sky team, right? So they've invoiced me for $100. I can view the invoice by clicking on the view icon and get all the glorious detail, right? I can see all the recipient information, the item detail, which there's not a lot in there because I did this in a super fast hurry, but obviously Big Sky would tell you what you owe or why you have to pay this dollar amount, and all of the payment details. So I can go to each of those sections and take care of this information. If I choose the pay now option, this is going to take me out to submit the payment through the electronic fund transfer option. So I'm going to get this page and I have 10 minutes to fill out my form and fill in my payment methodology. So I'll fill in the information here and then I can complete the transaction. This is going to send an electronic payment to the electronic funds service that is going to show your invoice as paid in full and give that information to the Big Sky team. I think it takes a couple of days for that payment to transfer to their account, but I think what we'll do is we'll show the invoice as paid because you've submitted your payment, and that takes care of that for you. The other option that can happen if we don't do this is you can print the invoice out. Now, Anna or Fallon, do you have any feedback on this function? Like, do you accept mail-in payments or do you want everybody to always use the EFT process?
No, it's up to them. We accept checks or that you can mail to our office or PO box. You can call and we can do a payment over the phone with a card, or you can pay here. We also do ACH where some people use like bill.com. So really any of those options should work. If you're having any challenges, let us know. The only other thing, I've got to jump off, but Dave, I did want to confirm if people make updates to their profile, say they're listing in description or adding media or updating their contact info, is it correct that there'll be maybe a 10 to 15 minute delay until it shows on the website?
There will be no delay for that information updating the record in the CRM. So when you go to your CRM, if they made the change a second ago, you're going to see that they have a new updated phone number, updated whatever. For the information to flow to the website, in the case that there is no approval by your team, Anna, then that information is going to flow to the website. The best way to talk about it is to say every hour on the hour. So if you make your adjustment at 12:01 p.m., at 1:01 p.m., you'll see those updates to the website. Now, it'll be faster than that in some cases and a little bit slower in other cases because we update certain areas of the website really on the quarter hour. So if you miss that cutoff schedule, you're probably going to have to wait a full hour before you see those updates to the website. Now, if they make an update to something that you need to approve, like the listing, the actual listing itself, that depends on your service level agreement. So everyone, if Anna and Fallon are on vacation for a couple of days, it's going to be a couple of days before they see that, approve it, and then as soon as they approve it, within 60 minutes, those updates will be on the website. So just respect the service level agreement that the Big Sky team is putting in place for you, because they're people. They need their vacation time too, and they need their time off. So if you don't see that change to the website right away, give it an hour and then find out if the team's on vacation or closed for the day or it's a holiday. You're going to have to wait for them to approve. And that's just so that they can make sure that all the content that displays on that website is accurate and in your brand that really attracts people to your destination.
Great, thank you. I just didn't want people making updates, looking at the website and not seeing a change immediately and thinking something is wrong. So thank you for explaining.
Wonderful. And we can get you a more detailed schedule of what types of records get updated more quickly than others, or on what schedule, like the quarter hour or the half hour or the 45-minute mark, if we really need to get into the nitty gritty. But that's really the relationship. You make the change on the extranet, the Big Sky team sees that in their CRM immediately, zero delay. That information, if it needs to be approved, once it's approved, will flow to the website in about an hour. Any other questions? And I appreciate us going over time. I apologize. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the training. So I did just run out, I did run over just a little bit, but I think we've got everything we need to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording unless there are any other questions. All right.